It's open. I thank the board of directors. This vision has come to me over a year and a half ago, and there's been a cry in this community that the youth have been crying out. There's not anything to do in Lake Placid. My wife and I have been afforded the opportunity to be the hands and feet that Jesus has called us to be. Each and every one of us in this room, whether you're a baby or you're a full-grown adult. It's hard for us sometimes to comprehend what all that means. But I know for me, growing up, it was difficult. We could sit around the table all day long and talk about that it's the parents' fault. If we call ourselves men and women of God, we must fill that gap in. STR8UP Youth Ministries is focusing on three things: spirituality, athletically, and scholastically. One of the things that this is not going to be is a hangout. If a kid does not want to participate in all three programs, the kid does not have to be here. This is free for everybody in the community. It's the community, the organizations, the companies that are going to support this. What you see in here right now, not one red cent came out of our pockets. This has been donated from the love of God, calling His people to do this. I've been mentored, I've been coached. My board of directors, I'd like to call them up here right now, starting with the very most important part of my life besides Jesus Christ, and that's my wife, Sammy Telesco. There's not enough thank yous in the world to give my wife for putting up with me. I know I have ADD, ADHD, and all the other above, but she's been a trooper as I've been a pooper. And I can't thank her enough. And 3 years ago, before I was released from prison, if I were to tell her God's called me to do this here, she might have ran, you know. I mean, not too many women that are set in their life. It's been a long struggle. The next one on my board, the next two on my board, I actually have to call them up simultaneously. They've been my prayer warriors. They have been there since the very beginning. They have extended their arms, feet, hands, every iota of their family to us. Mr. Bo Sanius and Mr. Scott McLean. Thank you, Uncle Bo. I love you too. Scott. The next three individuals that I'm going to call up when this all came about, they jumped in with all 6 feet. And the three of them are all related and are family members. They have worked diligently. We have bumped heads up until about an hour and a half ago. We have kicked, screamed, and fighting. But it's happened. The day is here. Miss Kathy Keck, her husband Don Keck, and her mom Linda Campbell. Don is cooking. Don is the man on the grill, so he's not here. So the orange board will be leaving as soon as we get a donation. My advisory board. There's some people that are missing. I am not going to call it in any particular order. The ladies and gentlemen that are on the advisory board are our ears in the community that can come back once a month for a meeting and let us know what we're doing wrong, what we're doing right, what the community is thinking, what everybody is saying. Up in the booth is Mr. Tim Slapsinski and his wife Amanda. They are the IT people with all the computers, the TVs. They're all setting them up, wiring them up. In the last 30 days, this building has transformed from a paint center to a youth house. Don't tell me God doesn't have his hands all over this place. Also up there is somebody, if you haven't been there, go to STR8UP.org. Her name is Kim Leatherman. She has been an integral part of getting posters and websites. She will have a slideshow being presented to us today. Miss Doreen Wilson, that's Maddie's mom. Miss Doreen Wilson, who has been a very dear friend to Dana and I. Her and her husband, Mr. James Layton. Mr. James Layton has worked diligently in here, providing the flooring, helping with everything that we needed help. He has been our handyman. Jake Campbell and Chelsea Sanius, the interns at our church who are gathering these kids up together and feeding us information, what these kids like, what they don't like, are working diligently on that. A very special dear lady to my heart, I call her Mom, who has taken my wife and myself in with her family and has shown us nothing but love, beyond love. Miss Darlene Pfeiffers, I just thank you all so much. Also, as you look around and you see the artwork on the walls, be mindful. The building was leased 30 days ago from this day on May 1st. The gentleman that has done these murals in here, he and his wife transplanted here from Indiana and has jumped in with both hands and feet, not only into the community, but want to be involved with the kids in the background. He has dedicated his time to put these murals on these walls for these kids, and they'll be more. He has dedicated diligent hours, as everyone has. Mr. Dave Colvin. I thank everybody here. And if I may take one opportunity right now to thank a very dear friend of mine who is not only my brother, but an accountability partner, who has wept with me continuously, and we have butted heads like two rams on a hill. I would lay down my life for this man. And it's our youth pastor at the First Baptist Church, Mr. Keith Campbell. I love you, brother. Everybody in here, I have to give you a big thank you. Because as my wife called me an hour and a half ago freaking out about a tornado in Sylvan Shores, I told her, I went biblical, I said, it's okay. If we all die, we're going to heaven. Who cares? This house is owned and operated by Jesus Christ. Don't mistake it for me or anybody in a fancy shirt. How you doing, Micah? There's a lot more that needs to be done here. There's a lot more that needs to be invested in our youth. We're losing multiple generations. We have a silent auction going on. As soon as I leave the stage, there'll be a couple of gentlemen putting the tables back together. I promise this is not going to take long. We have food, we have drinks, we have music, we have a continuous slideshow with thank yous. Because of the weather, I cannot do tours for everybody. So I'm going to run through it real quick so you get a vision in your mind. Because we've added some stuff. God has added some stuff that's blowing my mind. I don't know how we're going to do this. When a kid comes, He signs an information sheet. He gets a list of rules and regulations. He comes over to one of the 9 computers that we have here, and he will take an aptitude test, or she will take an aptitude test. We will find out where they're scoring in school so we can help them out. There'll be mentors from the schools here, our mentors, our board of directors, our advisory, you folks in the community. There's an information table right over here how you can get involved. Sign up June 7th from 7 to 8 is a mandatory meeting if you want to be a part of Straight Up. After the kid's done with the aptitude test, it's 40-45 minutes. It's hangout time. This is where we get to be balling. We got the PlayStation, we got the Wii, we got an air hockey table, ping pong table, pool table, basketball courts. We have a whole field over there that Haas Compton has let us use for football, volleyball, soccer. We also have a dojo building up there where we'll be teaching self-defense classes, dance classes, aerobics classes. Underneath that, we have 2 storage units where we just put mirrors up and tricked out, and we're going to have all types of weights in there so you football players get your workout on. We also have Mr. John Counsel that is willing, if a kid wants to learn about aeronautics, that they will train him, they will train the kids, and they will take them up for free flying lessons, donating the plane, the fuel, and his time. When the kids are all done with the play time, and I know the parents are pretty concerned about that, but believe me, we're going to have it under control. When play's over with, I yell a word that most kids know that I use and incorporated, stole it from Pastor Brett and Pastor Paul. It's called transform. And that's when we take this whole room right here and we twist it around, and everybody can be facing like they're facing now, and different mentors and community leaders, youth pastors, kids will come up here and we'll have biblical instruction. 3 phases: spiritual, academical, and athletic. It's up to you, the community. It's up to you, the kids. I will not tolerate disrespect. Moral character is what I want to develop here. I want to develop brothers and sisters in Christ. I want to create disciples so they can disciple others. I want to hurry up and eat, so I don't know what else I got to leave out. There's also donation buckets out there. I'm not going to leave it out. There's donation buckets out there. There's plants for sale. $3, $8, 2 for $5. Pitch a penny, I don't care what you do. Every little bit helps this cause. I make a joke about it because they say, well, what happens? They told me a year and a half ago when I first received this vision, the community's not going to come behind it. The churches are not going to gather and support it. And the kids are not going to want to do the programming. Well, they don't have to. I see what's happening. I know what my God is capable of doing. I know what He did in my life. So I will say this. Enjoy yourself. Please pray. Yes, we need money, but most of all, I need your prayers to keep me humbled and make sure that this is not Sammy, that this is all focused on Jesus Christ. This is not anybody on stage or anybody in here. I need help with that. I need help with my unbelief. Most of you know my story. This is very, very difficult for me to see this from where I've been. I love everybody in here, and you kids know how much I love you. If these doors have to shut down, my doors in my house will open up. Our doors in our house will open up. We've been there, we've done that. But I can't fit 132 kids in there. The maximum occupancy is 132 in here. If I got 500 kids beating down the door, this community better step up to the plate and show Jesus Christ that you care for souls. Thank you all. Enjoy. Have a good night.